Are you ready to discover the deep, dark secrets within yourself through really very introspective music? Well, I got the record for you, baby. Yeah. What's up, everyone? It's your boy, Matt Diazable, coming at you with a new record review. Yeah. Thanks for coming on by. I appreciate it. You the best. Today, I am checking out the latest release from Lorde with her latest album called Virgin. I'm pretty sure you know who Lorde is, but if you don't know, Lorde is a pop, synth pop artist based out of New Zealand and has been around since about 2013. I personally discovered her when she made her debut release. She came out with her debut, Pure Heroine, back in 2014 with the song Royals, Ribs, Tennis Courts. That album, Pure Heroine, was on like pure rotation in 2014 for me. One of my favorite albums. I love Lorde. She's a great artist. Always like love listening to her stuff. And with this latest album, it's her fourth release after putting out her second album, Melodrama and then Solar Power. And, I didn't review those, but those are albums I still enjoy because I'm a Lorde fan and enjoy all of her work. But it's going to be very interesting to look at this work as a reviewer now and trying to be, not bias or anything like that, but try and just really look at the work she's doing here. And I would say with this album, from what I read up on the history of it and everything, it's kind of like a rebirth of herself in terms of like discovering more about her sexuality and showing her vulnerability compared to the last album, Solar Power, which was more of an indie folk and very upbeat album. If that's what you're kind of expecting here, not really. It's kind of going in the opposite direction where she's going back to an older sound, but moving it forward in a different direction as well. And on this record, Lorde returns not with like any grand or grandeur feel to it, but it's more like in the shadows, crafting an album that is very introspective, icy, and disarmingly like intimate. This record doesn't seem like it's trying to, chase charts or reinvent radio pop. Instead, it feels like it's building a very dimly lit world with muted synths, cryptic memories, and sharp, unraveling emotions. Across 11 songs, Lorde's exploring identity, love, detachment, and womanhood through like lo-fi production and bare bruised vocals. It feels like Virgin is both a reinvention and also a return to form for Lorde. Not to Pure Heroine's youth or Melodrama's heartbreak, but kind of like a more primal Lorde we've never seen before. Album kicks off with the song Hammer. It's a very dreamy synth wash track that kind of eases the listener into this very internal world she's created. Her signature soft, cryptic vocals, drift over some very minimal percussion and glowing textures, setting the tone for what's about to come on this record, and that's vulnerable, low-key, and strangely addictive. That aesthetic carries over into the next track, What Was That, where the beat gets a little bit more animated, but the mood stays very hushed and trance-like. Here, Lorde's sharp talk of drug use cuts against the soft and almost squeeze synth textures. The contrast, it really works here. Her menace paired with, understated, wrapped up pop elements make for a very experimental, genre blurring feeling that, feels new but yet deeply Lorde at the same time. Virgin shines mostly in its very dark and very emotionally heavier stretches, particularly in the songs Shapeshifter, Current Affairs, and Clear Blue. These songs seem to like dive into, fractured relationships, power dynamics, and personal demons. Shapeshifter is a standout on this record. It's cold and broody, laced with some really deep strings and stone-faced cold like delivery. It's showing Lorde in her like most psychologically raw form, unpacking, sexual past and emotional transformation with fearless clarity. Current Affairs continues this thread by being very drenched in gloomy synths, warped vocals, and mournful flutes. The swelling background vocals feel like grief in body, making the track one of the most haunting moments on the album. Clear Blue is probably one of the most rawest moments on this album. Her vocals are like soaked in reverb and they just have a lot of anguish to them as she like, delivers some very gut punching lines, like the line that says like, there's broken blood in me and it's passed through from my mother down to me. That's some really deep stuff. These songs just don't share like sonic weight, but emotional weight as well. They're dark, painful, and very reflective. In contrast, we have Grown Woman and Broken Glass, which, offer glimpses of resilience and growth. Still moody, but grounded in identity. Grown Woman kind of shows Lorde owning her adulthood with cool, reverby, heavy vocals and a dark, pounding beat. It's about self-realization through small rituals, reclaiming your autonomy with a bit of an edge to it. Broken Glass seems to shift into more of an upbeat, quirky territory because you have some infectious rhythms here and some strong vocal presence that makes it feel like, Lorde is kind of loosening her grip, experimenting with her playfulness while keeping her footing on the emotional part of the music very firm. The production on here might be unusual, but it's cohesive with the album's aesthetic of minimalism meets weirdness. Man of the Year and Favorite Daughter kind of like form a compelling pairing here because they're like stripped back songs that are vocally driven that oscillate between soft self-assurance and fragile vulnerability. On Man of the Year, her soulful vocals hold down the almost empty track before it like spirals out into some auto-tuned theatrical and 80s style synth waves as it swells towards the end of the song. Favorite Daughter, meanwhile, is a simpler, more toe-tapping, upbeat song with some bright synths and clarity. Lorde does a really good job of letting space in the arrangement so her voice and her lyrics can really breathe. Together, these tracks kind of showcase her skills in restraint, showing that not every song needs to have like an exploding feel to it to leave a mark. The album closes with two emotional songs called If She Could See Me Now and David. If She Could See Me Now opens up with some thick stop-start like beats and grows into something very nostalgic, reflective, and just swelling, as if she's looking at her past self in like a foggy mirror. The production like subtly builds upon itself until it almost bursts, invoking a strange, powerful feeling of sadness. Then comes David, which kind of is a sexy, unsettling track here that opens up with some eerie lyrics and a very haunting vocal performance that kind of reminds me of her older song Supercut. As it unfolds, Lorde delivers some very chilling and unforgettable lines like I don't belong to anyone. A definite thesis for the whole album. With nods to pure heroin tucked into the final moments of this song, the track closes the album with a very emotional gravity to it and a very sonic, grand feel to it. Virgin is not meant to be flashy. It's inward, it's raw, and it's purposely strange, like reading someone's journal through their like foggy glasses. At times, the production choices are a bit jarring, like some auto-tune vocals and some sudden changes in the transitions, but they feel very intentional, like they're part of Lorde's ongoing resistance of neatness and predictability. Melodrama was, heartbreak on fire. Virgin is an emotional reckoning on ice. Sharp, cold, and cutting deep. A haunting, minimalist portrait of selfhood and sorrow, and we have to say some of Lorde's most daring and dark work to date. So this latest album from Lorde, Virgin, I would have to give it up to her. Pretty experimental, pretty dope and everything. So I would give it a nice and good 8.5 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think about this album, your favorite Lorde album, your favorite song off this album. And yeah, until next time, guys, I will see you in the pit. Been thinking good things about you. Cool and warm, good things about you.